Welcome to a forgotten piece of Japan, because today we're jumping straight back into the Forza Horizon 5 JDM Jules car pack, which sadly cost extra on top of the base game. But today we're taking a look at this, the Toyota Sera from 1991. This thing boasts 108 horsepower from stock, 97 foot-pounds of torque while weighing just a shade over 2,000 pounds. So for this thing, really not that bad. Now of course this thing is from the early 1990s, so it's an interesting mix of box and bubbles when it comes to design, and it's got a really weird shaped roof to it, and also, by the way, the doors on this thing are gull-wing doors. And going to the inside, the windows kind of look really strange. You've got like this kind of weird line all the way through the middle, and then going to the dashboard, it is quite basic. There's not really that much there. You got maybe a radio if you're lucky and a few dials. But now let's go ahead and take a listen to this thing. Well, there we go. This thing doesn't really sound too bad for what it is. Now let's go ahead, jump over to conversion, over to engine swaps, and see what we can throw in this thing, because we've got quite a fair few options to choose from, including the 2-litre inline-4 VVT. We have ourselves a 1.6-litre inline-4 turbo rally. On top of that, we also have ourselves a racing 3-litre inline-6 turbo, also known as the Racing 2JZ, and we also have the option to throw in a racing V6 as well, just for good measure. Now, from stock, this thing is front-wheel drive, but you do have the option to make it either rear-wheel or all-wheel drive, which we might do just a little bit later on. And if you want, you can also go ahead and either supercharge or turbocharge the stock engine. As for aero and appearance, going to the front, we have ourselves a little, what do we have? We have ourselves tiny little fog lights, which actually look really quite cool. And then we have ourselves just a normal bit of Forza aero as well. Going to the back, there's no fancy Toyota stuff this time, but we do have ourselves the usual little... Oh, wait, hold on. No, ooh, wait, no, there's some Forza aero that actually looks nice. Never thought I'd see the day. In the meantime, our mechanic Mac has been very busy putting together a racing tune for us. Let's go ahead and bring up the share code. There it is. Feel free to go ahead and grab that for yourself. We're going to go ahead, download and install, and see what we've got. So with these upgrades, we're now looking at just a shade under £1,830 with just over 300 horsepower at the top of A-Class. This is going to get interesting. So with those upgrades installed, we're now over at the paint shop, so let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got. Going to advanced, we've got two paint groups for this thing. Paint group number 1 being, of course, the main body of the car. But what is paint group number 2? Because I genuinely don't actually know. Ah, okay. It's like this little bit and like little rear, not grille, but like area where the badging is. Okay, that's different. Going over to manufacturer colours though, we have ourselves a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different colours for this thing. And I've got to say, the red kind of suits it, but I think I like this better. Although for the sake of my console, I'm not changing the colour. So unlike most of the cars featured in this little mini-series, the Toyota Sera is actually a car I've seen in person, but only once, and it was very heavily modified. So now let's see if it can do good racing. And away we go. Got a Ford Anglia over there. We got ourselves a tiny little beach buggy over here for some reason. I don't know why, but we do. And all the decorations are currently themed around Forza Horizon 3. Mostly due to the nature of the current series. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and see how this does with the first turn. It's on slick racing tyres and some front aero as well. And to be honest, apart from being a little bit understeery, it wasn't too bad. Which for something front wheel drive is surprising. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get past beach buggy number 2. Or maybe that was the one from earlier. I don't know. They all look the same. Come on, up into third. There we go. On the brakes. Brake. Ooh, dear me, avoid everything. I think somebody time traveled into the wrong race. In the meantime, going back to the Toyota Sera, I've had a look around online for the numbers of how many of these were made and how much they are. And I've got to say the numbers are very interesting indeed, because there's roughly around 15,000 of these things ever made, making the concept very rare across the world. And if you want to buy one, the prices are absolutely all over the place depending on condition. Because at the moment, you can buy a Toyota Sera for 4.7 up to 16.3 thousand pounds. Which is this in US dollar, by the way. Why is there another Back to the Future DeLorean? Out of my way. But I've got to say, the prices for this thing are honestly all over the place online. And the amount for sale online is quite rare as well, because even though there's 15,000 of them made, I can barely find 10. In the meantime, one more turn to go, slight clonk off the wall, and across the line we go with the Toyota Sera, at first place, miles ahead of everybody else, and a time of 2 minutes 9. So I've got to say that was quite a race, and it did get very close towards the end. Now let's jump from racing to voting with the backstage. Because this week it is an all-out battle of pure muscle. We've got ourselves the Ford XP Falcon and the Chevy Nova from 1966 versus the Plymouth Barracuda and the AMC Rebel. Now we have two very good choices here, and we also have two very good cars over here as well. But just based on the fact that the Rebel can get very powerful, that's going to get my vote. Do you agree? Let me know in the comments. In the meantime though, it's back to the tunes we go, because our mechanic Mac has been very busy building a drag tune for this thing. So let's go ahead and bring up the share code very quickly. There it is. Feel free to go ahead and grab that for yourself. We've been told not to use launch control in it, so I'm going to go and use launch control in it. In the meantime though, these upgrades, this thing is sat at just a shade over 1,930 pounds in weight with nearly 1,300 brake horsepower, just around the middle of S1. So to you and I, this thing's about to be a rocket. Right, here we are now over at the back of the festival. Let's go ahead and see, do we get a bit of a wheelie check out of this thing? The answer is yes we do. Yep, we do. Oh, get back on the road. Needless to say, it said no to that idea. Right, here we are now over the edge of the drag strip. Let's go ahead and put this thing on launch control, so I was told not to. And away we go with the Toyota Sera. Let's go ahead and see what this thing can do. It's very light, sub 2,000 pounds. Nearly 1,300 brake horsepower. This thing's going to be an absolute rocket. Through the camera at 216 and off the end of the drag strip topping out at 229 and no brakes. Oh dear. I guess some things never really do change. Right, now it's our turn to go ahead and see what we can do to this thing. So we're jumping straight to conversion. We're going to go ahead and of course slap in the 2JZ. We're also going to go ahead and while we're at it also slap in all-wheel drive as well, just to make this thing a little bit more controllable. And I'm going to go and see what we can do for a top speed build. Now I know what you're thinking, is it a bad idea? The answer to that is yes. Am I doing it anyway? Still yes. So I was busy upgrading this thing and I've just thought of something. This giant gap right on the front of the car here, it would be really nice if we could have front plates as well as back plates too. If any Forza dev happens to be listening, you know, can you get on that please? You know what? That looks about right. Right, with all those upgrades installed, I've now got to figure out how to make it all work. Back in a few. In the meantime, here's this week's Forza shop. We've got ourselves the Koenigsegg 1, a Backstage Pass, the Horizon Australia T, the Nissan pickup number 23 Rally Raid, the Fred V and graphics car horn, which sounds a bit like this. There you go, we've also got ourselves the Horizon Super Wheel Spin alongside the regular Horizon Wheel Spin as well, and now out to the motorway. Right, let's go ahead and see how close we get to the motorway great today. The answer to that is quite a fair ways away. And to think I had it sorted last week. Anyway, here we are now over at the edge of the motorway. Let's go ahead and get ourselves onto launch control and away we go. Nearly 1,300 brake horsepower. This thing's now just a shade over 2,000 pounds, but it's still quite light indeed. Let's hope for a very good top speed. Also, is it just me or does anybody else think this is shaped like one of those weird 90s computer mice? Either way, out of speed zone we go at 266.30. Very good indeed. We've still got the downhill and speed cameras to go and this thing was still accelerating. Right, after a quick call to recovery, we're now back on the road. Through the camera at 270.55, going downhill 272, 273. Do we get any faster than that? Not by the looks of things. 273 is our top speed. There's the sign. On the brakes we go. I doubt this thing's going to have a very good stopping distance, considering it's very light and it's very powerful. But at the end of the day, still not too bad. Could be better, could be worse. Anyway, let's go ahead and throw one more test at this thing. If you know me well enough, you know this is going to happen. Right, let's go ahead, throw this thing into the drift zone and see what the little Toyota Sera can do. Is it going to be a small but mighty? Let's go ahead and find out. 40,778 points on run number 1, but what can it do going back the other way? I'm hoping for something good. Right, run number 2 at 40.7k is the score to beat. Can we do it? I doubt it, but we're going to give it everything we've got with this little thing. Can we do it? No. 38,347 going out the other way of the drift zone. Not bad, but I felt like this thing had more potential. In the meantime though, that is this video on the Toyota Sera. It's a very interesting thing indeed. It's weirdly space age themed, or especially if you're looking at around the 1990s space age, but it is quite the car indeed. Especially when you can throw 1,300 brake horsepower in it. In the meantime though, if you want one of these things, you can get it via the Forza Horizon 5 JDM Jules car pack. Well, that will cost a little bit more on top of the base game. But I say for this and the cars you get with it, it is absolutely worth it. In the meantime though, if you've got a car you want me to check out in Forza Horizon 5, please do go ahead and put it in the comments and I'll try my best to get round to it. However though, thank you very much for watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that cool stuff, and I'll see you all in the next one. Tech out. See ya! This video took way too long to put together.